You've probably never been asked, what's your favorite plague? But I think most people's favorite plague of the 10 plagues of Egypt, the first 7 of which we read in this week's Parsha, I think most people would identify the plague of frogs as their favorite plague. And I don't know why, maybe we think it's kind of cute, these little creatures jumping around, even though it would actually be quite horrific to be living with these frogs everywhere for a week straight. But one of the things that strikes me about the plague of frogs is how the plague ends. And the Torah tells us that Moshe left the city to pray for God to end the plague of frogs. And what's notable is that by the other plagues, Moshe doesn't need to leave the city. And the commentaries explain that these croaking frogs were just so loud, were distracting. Moshe wasn't able to pray in the city with these frogs croaking everywhere. He needed to walk outside. He needed to find a quiet place to pray to the Almighty and end the plague of frogs. All of us, whether we come to shul or whether we stay at home, when we open our sitters, when we find our times to pray, to connect, we have distractions. It may be noise around us. It may be our cell phones. Studies have shown that your cell phone sitting on the desk in front of you is distracting. Even if it's not ringing, even if it's not vibrating, even if it's on silent, our phones are a distraction, even if we just see them. As we pray to the Almighty, when we open our books, we open our sitters, we're ready to connect. We need to try to figure out, what are the frogs? What are the frogs in my life? What are the frogs in my room that I can remove to make prayers more meaningful? For many of us, just coming to the shul is an opportunity to enter a sacred space, one that removes us from many of the distractions in our life. But even if you don't attend shul, even if you're praying from home, to find a corner of the room, to find somewhere you can go that removes you from the frogs of life. As always, I wish you all a wonderful Shabbos.